This is Tilted.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit.
Welcome. How are we all doing? Guys, Tyler here, Anthony, Brad. Another episode, a different look, maybe a little better. I didn't like, we kind of looked a little like a bag of trash. So we had to clean it up a little bit. And that was my fault, but we're good. But welcome back. And we got a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on. We got the World Series starting this Friday. We've got college in full effect with upsets left and right. You know, the top 12 in the playoff race is changing every freaking week. NFL teams are collapsing left and right. Players being traded left and right. It has been a madhouse this last couple days. So we're gonna go ahead and dive into it and go right into the fact that it's baseball time. It's the next 7 games, if it goes that far, is for me is awesome because I've only been a part of a few World Series that I can remember, and what a time to be alive, you know. Anthony, what do you think?
Oh, I don't know, man. I'm excited. We got Friday night game 1. Obviously, Fernando Venezuela passing away kind of puts a damper on a lot of things, but hopefully they can go and win it for them. Yeah, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better matchup between Dodgers and Yankees. I mean, the best two teams in the league. Yeah, I mean, it's the best 2 teams in the league, 2 of the biggest markets. The ratings are going to be through the roof. My initial reaction is I'm worried about the pitching depth. I do like like our bullpen a little better. Both bats are pretty hot. I think Dodgers are a little hotter, but it's October baseball, so every pitch matters and every swing matters. So I don't know, man. That's just my initial, like, when I think about this series on the surface, I think it's all about the pitching depth and the bullpen and what we get out of them. But yeah, that's just what I think at first. I don't know, Brad. What do you think?
Well, I mean, game 1 is they ended up saying Flaherty and Cole, right? So,
yeah,
I mean, Flaherty was, great game 1 of an NLCS that he threw, and that's obviously what we need to see as Dodger fans, because it's a tough matchup at Cole, but our offense, man, is swinging it. You got to say the same thing about them, though, right? So I think a big thing for them is going to be just setting the table, right? The leadoff continuing to get on, and putting the pressure on the Dodgers with when we face Soto, making the decision. And I got to be honest, I think he's, I love watching Judge, and Judge is, obviously, the home run man, but Soto is who scares me in this lineup. And we just got to figure out, we got to figure out how to navigate that, right? We're not sure about Vessier coming out of the bullpen. He's been hurt. He didn't pitch the last series. He would be crucial if we can get him healthy. Right now, we really only got Banda out of the bullpen with that lefty matchup. So it's going to be interesting to see the way the 2 managers kind of navigate, the lineups, right? I mean, I think the Dodgers have the advantage at the back end of the lineup if we can continue to produce, right? I mean, we're putting guys like Will Smith, Kike at the bottom of the lineup in certain games.
Yeah,
I
think
Will's got to get going, right? He's been slow, but it appears he might have kind of started to get going a little bit towards the end of the series. I'm hoping he can kind of get going. You look at, like, around the field, the matchups are pretty close. It's set for 6 or 7 games, and as a Dodger fan, I'd love to see it get over with. But I'm nervous, man, but excited to see it. And on last night, man, I mean, I've been a Dodger fan, man, I mean, for a long time, and El Nino was right in the time that I was like 6, 7 years old, right? So that was my time when I got into it, right? When we had Garvey at first and Ron Say at third and Bill Russell at short and, Lopes at second. And that was when I became a Dodger fan. So I was really sad last night, man. And I'm still sad about the situation, but guy was amazing,
he was young, man.
right? And Yeah,
young, 63.
63s.
That's
Yeah, so it sucks, man. But I'm hoping the Dodgers will win it for him, man.
it's crazy because I was looking at some stats, man. Like statistically, where the Dodgers lied, we're laying at, and where the Yankees were at, and it's like dead even. In average is 10 points off, or excuse me, 18 points off. The home runs are one off. Dodgers have one more home run than the Yankees with 11. Um, the RBIs, I believe were, I gotta look again. They're, that's where the change is at. The RBIs, right? That's the only gap, and this is big. They had stressed on it. Dodgers year in and year out, runners in scoring position have always been terrible in the postseason. I mean, how many times countlessly do we watch them with bases loaded in multiple series and just not score runs? The Dodgers have 44 RBIs in that ALCS. Excuse me, NLCS. Yeah. The Yankees got 25. So the Yankees were powered by home runs. They had 10 home runs with 25. Dodgers had 11 home runs with 44 RBIs. So
they're definitely hitting the ball. They're hitting the ball
yes.
a little more consistently. I think when I think about game one, I think about Garrett Cole, he scares me, but he's one of those ones that he eats up innings. And I think even if he has a good performance, even if he gets, no earned runs, whatever it is, if they can make him log pitches and get him out before that 6th and 7th inning, I think that's going to be the biggest key. Because if they have, he'll chew up 7 innings easy. If they can get him out, get to the bullpen a little earlier, I think that's going to be our biggest. That's going to be our biggest obstacle.
Yeah,
so I think you guys both hit on 2 big keys. We've got to get length the same way from our starters. So, and then my other big thing is the middle of our lineup. Freddie's got to get going, and we need Teo to really get going. He struggled, and he was crucial for us this year. So, but the good thing is those guys struggled, and we still put up a ton of runs. So,
yeah,
we'll see, man.
Freddie was out of the lineup the last 2 games.
Yeah,
and he already was announced as a guarantee start for game 1.
He's gonna play.
So I actually said something to Anthony. This is kind of a mind-boggling stat. With Freddie Freeman in the lineup in that CS, they were 1-2. With him out of the lineup, they were 3-0. Yeah. So it does show you like, okay, the injury does affect him, but it's not just about Freddie here. It's a bigger thing. The team plays well when if Freddie's not there. So that means his veteran give is there. He's probably on the bench talking to his guys. He's talking up other players. Guys are getting opportunities. Like Pi has hitting the 2 home runs, like in a loss. That was still an exhilarating moment probably for all those guys in that locker room. Like, dude, you fucking killed it today. Like, yeah, we got the L, but dude, you're there. You're ready to ball out. Like,
it's a good sign of things to come from him. I think getting the bat hot at the end of that series.
There was a lot of cool things that happened in that series. I don't know if you guys saw the interview with Max Muncy and Honeywell. And Max Muncy looking at Honeywell after game 5 and telling him, hey, what you just pulled off by pitching 4 in the 3rd, you just won us game 6, right? Like little things that happened, right? Obviously Tommy Edman, right, showing up, doing what he did. But the Dodgers just have so much versatility. Like when Freeman went down, right, to be able to put Muncy at first, to be able to plug and play, right, Kike at 3rd or whatever they need to do, right? Rojas goes down, put Edman at short, right? I mean, they have so much versatility that they're able to cover those gaps better than most teams. So, man, and then we haven't even addressed Shohei, right? Like the guy's ridiculous. So, I'm so excited to see him on this level, right? It's just so fun to watch.
What's crazy is
what he signed up for.
We felt like he struggled, right? Like a lot of people looked at him like, oh man, it's because he wasn't hitting the home runs like he usually does. He still batted a 364 in the series.
Yeah.
Here's what's a mind-boggling number. The Dodgers walked 42 fucking times. Yep. That shows you all those veterans. Max Muncy walked a total of 11. And Max
got on 12 straight times. It's crazy.
Good.
I did hear that Roberts had talked to Muncy at Lee going into this playoffs, like, hey, dude, we don't need you to be swinging for the fences. We just need you to get up there and give us quality at bats. And Muncy talked about in an interview, like how that kind of reset his mind and how that, got him on the right track. And it obviously showed. I think that's a record in the in the postseason, most consecutive on base appearances or something
It
like
was,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's insane, man. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think they're I think manager. I know a lot of people give Dave Roberts a lot of shit, but I think when you think manager to manager, I think that's we have him there. I think it's a mismatch in that as far as experience in these big games and managing these big games. So I think we got the upper hand there. And I know I seen it on Sunday for Game 6 going into Sunday. I don't know what he did on Sunday, but Shohei was 17 of 21 with the last 21 at bats and with runners in
scoring
position. Yeah.
That's a nutty fucking stat, dude. That is nutty. 17 to 21.
Like 700? 700 with runners in scoring position.
That's crazy.
The one more thing I kind of wanted to hammer on, like, we were talking about, like, you were trying to go apples to apples here, like, manager to manager. I think Roberts did something he has never done in this entire career that I've ever noticed as a Dodger fan. He went out to his starting pitcher and did not pull him, had a conversation with him, and let him go out there and execute those next 2 outs, that was Walker Buehler. And that's just, I think there was a moment he sat there and we talked analytics and just knowing baseball. I think that just knowing baseball kicked in, and he knows that Buehler needs this moment. This is a defining moment for him to come back from that second Tommy John, for him to be able to be like this. I can put this team on my back. I can be, he's got a big shoe to fill. Clayton Kershaw, like, how do you come into LA? I mean, and there's plenty of pitchers we can name down the line. Unfortunately, one just passed away. It was a great, but in the last 10 years, 20 years, like, you think LA, you think Clayton Kershaw. Who's filling those shoes next? And I really think Buehler could be the guy. He looked like it in the last two innings he's gone out, or 2 series he's gone out. So, but apples to apple, you're right. I think their starting pitching is better. Yes, I agree. I think our bullpen is way more dominant than theirs. I really do. I think top to bottom, if you think Stanton, I think Mookie Betts and Stanton are, head to head in batting. I think Mookie's slightly better because of speed.
I think Mookie's much better.
Yeah, but I mean, if you talk about pure power, Stanton, if they went home run derby, I think it's pretty close. Now, you think of Judd, like, got Ohtani, man. I think Ohtani's better than Judd. I think Judd's great, but I think they're very comparable. So you eliminate those 2 pieces. The rest of the roster, I think the Dodgers dominate. I really do. Just on paper, the Dodgers are just better everywhere. And we're hurt. That's what's crazy. We've got people hurt left and right. We don't have starting pitching, but the bullpen is stepping up. It's just, I told you, Anthony, it's a different team. There's something, I didn't feel like we were the greatest.
Well,
it has turned into the greatest through this series, through the postseason. It looks like, holy shit, where were these Dodgers at? Where have these guys been all year?
One thing they talked about, and I don't know if you guys heard it, but they talked about their approach the whole postseason. So
we don't give a fuck.
Well, basically, right, and that's kind of what it comes down to. Before Muncy and them talked about it in some of the interviews. They said before they would, those 5 days off, right? You earn those 5 days off. You're the number 1 seed, and they always kind of felt this pressure, right? And they would go to the facility and they would practice 2.5 hours a day, and it was a grind, right? They didn't change anything, and they didn't feel like they stayed sharp, right? And they didn't have fun. They didn't enjoy the reward of the work they put in, right? So they decided this year, they basically said, they went to the front office and said, hey, we're changing it up. We don't want to do what you guys are saying, right? We want to come in, we'll get our work in, but we just want to have fun. We want to bond. So they made a pact, right? They said, for the next 3 weeks, starting these first 5 days off, let's come in, let's watch baseball, let's bullshit, let's order good food, let's hang out, let's watch these guys we may play, let's break down the pitching, and let's just be a team, right? So the whole approach has been different from, like, the moment they clinch number 1, let's approach it different. Let's treat it as a reward, enjoy what we're doing, and we're good enough to win this motherfucker. Let's go for it. And that's basically their approach, and I'm loving it, man. They're playing loose, and good God, are they swinging it, man.
Yeah.
It's so fun to watch.
We talked about how deep that lineup could be and some of the guys that are hitting at the bottom. One thing that I just thought about, this wasn't something I thought about throughout the week, but do you think there's a chance that Freeman hits down towards the bottom with his injury? Do you think that would help, or do you think he's got to slide in at 3 or 4?
He was still
I-
getting on. I mean, I don't think you're going to move him down. I really don't.
I just think, if you're getting that production from Edman at 4 and Muncy or whoever it is that's batting 4 and 5, and he can give you a pop between 6 and 7, Will Smith, like, I just think that just continues to add to it. But I know he was struggling a little bit. I think it has a lot to do with his injury. Hopefully the days off are helping him.
Yeah.
What's crazy to think is Gavin Lux is struggling really bad, and that's the prime reason why he's not been in the lineup. But you kind of look at it like Kike, man, playoff Kike is just a different animal, dude. Like it is like so good we have him here, and then Tommy Edman to come in and do what he's done. Being a guy coming off a hand injury, basically thrown to the curb and said, "Hey, we just don't need you no more. Like, good luck." And then the Dodgers, it's just Dodgers MO, man. Like, you can go down the list: Max Muncy, Justin Turner, Kike Hernandez, guys that have been thrown to the side, told you're not good enough. We don't need you. They come here and they have stellar careers. They have great playoff runs. If Freddie Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez, and Will Smith get going, and the other 7. Or the other 6, stay hot, the Dodgers will be pretty much unstoppable. Because unfortunately, Freddie, Teoscar, and Will Smith all were under 200. But that's a small sample size in a series. And like it says, it takes one swing, it takes one at bat to flip it. And like you are just on fire. I mean, Alvarez for the Mets just was get outable. The guy got on every at bat, it seemed like. It was pretty wild. I mean, he batted 400 that series. He was definitely in line to be probably one of their guys to be talked about. But sorry, next year.
Well, should we get into our? I guess I got something fun. I want to frustrate Brad with, and then we'll get into our predictions. I just last week it got you frustrated. I was thinking about the World Series.
Frustrated. Here we go.
Last week you were like, "Oh, this, you're going back." So I
gotta step aside, but I'm listening. Fire away.
Okay, I changed it. So we'll see if Brad. I don't think Tyler can answer any of these questions anyway. Let's give Brad some trivia. Some baseball trivia here for the world. It's World Series. It's World Series focused. Okay. I want to know who has the most home runs in the World Series since 2000. We won't make you go back that far. Just since 2000. No clue. Yeah, two guys that are tied for the top most home runs. So you got to think they've played in multiple World Series. You got to guess. One played. One is AL. One is NL. One played for the Phillies and the Dodgers during his home run stint in the World Series. I think I just gave you that one, buddy.
You know what? I'm like all distracted. Yeah, my dog.
It is.
My freaking. Hey, Logan's dog came in here and starting to screw with shit. Sorry.
All right. Look,
so
Horton just got one. Chase Utley. Chase Utley is tied for first with 7 home runs in the World Series during his career. There's one more that I'll give you one hint. He's close to home. Banging on trash cans.
Oh, well, yeah, but so when you said home, you know what? You made me think like home. Like this is home, but yeah, I was like, shit, West Coast.
Banging on trash cans.
Okay, well, it can only be home run hitter with the Astros. Good God, it could be a few of them. That's the problem there. Like their team has been so deep.
There's 3 of them. There's 3 of them. It could
only be a few. It'd be like Altuve, Bregman, Tucker. I don't know who's been there the longest. I don't to be honest, right? Astro wise, from the full run.
Yeah, George
Uh,
Springer
Springer,
is actually
okay.
tied for one.
Springer.
What about the most hits
Huh.
in the World Series since 2000? This
It's gonna
guy's
be this-
retired.
Mm.
He's an all-timer. Shortstop.
Oh, it's Jeter.
Yeah, it is Jeter. Most RBIs.
Man.
Another AL.
A-Rod. A-Rod.
Nope. A-Rod is not even in the top 10.
Wow. Okay. I was
Yeah.
wrong. No
So
wonder that guy's garbage.
AL. Play for the
How-
AL.
What
are
team?
we going back full history?
No, I
Or we're
said since
still-
2000.
we're
All
still
these
2000.
all these are just since 2000. Everything I got for you is just since 2000.
Well, it's gonna be I mean
What team?
active
What team?
There was
player
a-
in the American League.
there was a lot of Yankees and a lot of Astros in that time.
Yep.
Active player.
Yep. It's definitely one of those two teams.
It's gonna be one of those two teams.
Yep.
He's retired. This guy's active.
This guy's active and still on the team.
Oh, I'm thinking it's an Astro.
You're right.
Bregman.
We're talking hits
It
now.
is
Bregman.
Okay.
Bregman. That was
Like,
RBI.
I was
It's either
trying to think.
like
The guy-
RBIs. It's got to
yeah.
be guy batting lower. So
I was trying to
Yeah,
remember
you got-
who disappointed me continuously every time he came up to a bat in the World Series against the Dodgers. It was Bregman. Bregman had a great series against us.
Totally. What about the most strikeouts as a pitcher?
Oh, fuck. Verlander.
yeah,
It is
Verlander's going
Verlander.
to be up there.
Ah, damn.
It's gonna
Verlander
be
with 50.
Since 2000. It's going to be heavy Astros. They went so many times in a row. They've dominated the AL.
Yeah, and guess
Yeah.
what? They did make it this time, baby.
You
I think
actually
baseball
what's
celebrated when that
surprising-
happened.
What's surprising about it is number 2 is Andy Pettit with 46 home runs or 46 strikeouts.
Yeah,
Clayton Kershaw with 41. So Kershaw
Wow.
and then John Lester down.
I mean,
for 34.
Pettit was
Yeah,
a beast
because
for all
the
those
Cubs
years.
the Cubs had gone quite often since 2000. I can see why Lester was there.
Well, didn't they only go one time?
Well, I
But
mean,
he also played for the Red Sox.
yeah. But I just remember
Lester
he
was
was
on the
there a
Red Sox,
lot. He
too.
was there a lot. This is World Series, correct?
Yeah, it's just World Series stats since 2000. I like getting your guys' brain thinking. I like
Yeah.
testing you guys. And then there's one more, but I mean this one's kind of crapshoot. This is the most pitching wins since 2000.
It's got to be Verlander, right?
No, Verlander's not even in the top 10
Most pitching wins since 2000?
in the world's getting the win. It's a National League East
Oh,
guy.
probably gonna be
Since
some
2000
weird
Since
fucking weird guy.
2000,
Since 2000. It's
It's a
National
Brave.
League East.
it's a Brave.
I'm sorry, National League West. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're messing with
NL
me.
West. I know that was my mistake. National League West.
I
I
have no
hate
idea.
this son of a bitch.
Oh
I don't
God
like-
damn it!
Is it a giant?
Fucking Giants.
It's a
he's
giant. It's
slingy arm motherfucker. No, not even slingy arm.
Baumgartner.
Bumgardner.
Bumgardner.
God damn it!
Bumgardner.
Madison
That's it. That's all I
Bumgardner.
have. That's all I have. I just think it's
Ah.
fun to go
Once
through
you
that
said
kind of
we
shit.
hate him, I knew it. Shit,
Yeah.
I hated him when he was in San Francisco, and I hated him when he went to Arizona, and he dominated us at both.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And he was terrible in
Sucked
Arizona. He sucked, but he still dominated in the Dodgers. It was crazy, man. He wasn't. What about Tim Lincecum? Like that dude. That dude cut his own career short.
Oh,
for
you
some
thought it was
reason.
Tim Lincecum, yeah.
He's just another one
What,
that just
so what-
dominated us.
So I think our predictions are all pretty much going to be the same. Dodgers in 7.
I think
got-
Dodgers win game 6 at home. I think they take oh man, it's gonna be good. I think they come back home and win in game 6.
Yeah.
Down for
Oh
that.
man. Let's see. So I haven't looked, man.
Well, what
I
are
haven't
you
looked the way
thinking? I
the
might be able to
series
help you.
breaks down. I'm trying to figure out.
I hear
Cole
it, Brad.
So it
pitching.
goes to.
Is Cole
Oh,
going to be set
pitching.
up for 4 or 5 probably?
They only have one off day in between, so it'll probably be 5.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
I hear Brad.
Yeah, like
I heard
Friday,
in Brad's
Saturday, they're
voice.
off.
Brad's calling a sweep by the Dodgers.
No,
Yeah.
no. Well, I'm going to go with 6. I'm hoping, man. God,
Could
I'm
you
so
imagine? Could you
fucking nervous.
imagine if we swept the Yankees in the World Series?
fuck.
Holy fuck, would that be a that would be
The
a magic.
Dodgers. The thing is, both teams have enough. If they get that momentum going, right, it could end earlier. We're all Dodger homers. I'm going to say 6.
Yeah. I'm a diehard fan of what Kike said. You hear what he said about
Yep.
the World Series? I just want a goddamn parade.
That's right, baby.
You know, he's like, I've already won a World Series. I want the parade. Oh man.
Yeah.
There is, like I said,
Funny.
the atmosphere in that locker room is just different, man. The way they celebrated. I told you that, Anthony, the videos, you see guys in the background sitting down in the Yankee celebration, but in the Dodgers, the whole freaking building was jumping. Like, there's just something different, man. Like, let's go.
I did see Mookie say, they were like, what do you think these guys are doing in here? And it was like a video clip of Shohei and Yamamoto celebrating. And they're like, neither of those guys do a whole lot. And Yamamoto was like carrying a flag around his shoulder like this. And he goes,
Yep.
that's a lot for him. That is a lot for Yamamoto to be walking around.
He's
that
really
was
excited right now.
That was doing big shit for Yamamoto right there. He's just walking around like not even really smiling, just like carrying a flag. Like that was big shit. I thought that was
awesome.
hilarious.
Well,
on to
diving into
college
the football,
ball, huh?
baby. Yep.
Let's go.
Yeah,
All
football
right.
time.
Well,
We're done with the homerisms.
yeah. Well, there's a little
Yeah.
bit of homers over here on this side. They're a little sad
what
this
it
year,
is.
though.
Oh,
They're a little sad, though.
holy
Their
shit.
teams aren't doing very good.
Oh man, we're all sad right now, but whatever. The Michigan season's over, so at least Brad has some sweat left in him. I don't
I
know.
don't fucking want to talk about it.
I know. Well, we will, but we don't have to start on it. So I know, Tyler, you said you didn't see it, but Brad, did you catch the pass interference situation in Georgia and Texas? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so Tyler, let me give you the rundown. It was a bogus call. It was not pass interference. Texas is down 23-8. Georgia throws not a pick six, an interception that got returned back to like the 5-yard line, right? But the refs call a pass interference.
Oh, no, I did see
And
this. Yes, I did see this.
I don't know exactly what
explain.
happened to cause the delay. I think there might have been an injury or something like that was going on. And then they were talking within seconds of all that happening, the fans just start fucking plummeting the field with trash and cups, and they're booing because it was a bad call, but still doesn't give you an excuse to act that way. And then out of nowhere, the refs, oh, by the way, yeah, no penalty. No penalty. Pick it up after like 5 minutes of discussion or something like that.
You know,
Like,
that
I think they're like, boy, these guys are pissed. We gotta change this call. These guys are fired up.
Conversation. They're like, listen, I got kids at home, brother. I gotta go home.
What do you think, Brad? I think it was a bad call, but you have to live by it.
From Kirby Smart's side, I was like, what is going on? You cannot reverse that. You've already called it. Like,
if you can't reverse the Saints and
over.
Rams one from like 7 years ago, you can't reverse that. You can't pick that flag up. Bad call, not pass interference. Totally get it. I understand the fans' frustration, but once you make it, you can't take it back.
Gotta live with it, baby.
The fans won.
You get to be the front of the sports page era of you fucked up that call, bub.
Yeah, no doubt. But overall, I mean, reaction to the game besides that, like, I think Georgia beating Texas is exactly what defines college football this year. There is so much parity to it. The only real, like, Oregon's still undefeated. But like Ohio State has a loss, Alabama has 2. there's a lot of really good teams that are going to be limping into this college football playoff, and Texas included now. So I think it just brings up, how really good this college football season has been and what this finish is really gonna look like. So I I can't wait to see what happens next. Bradley.
Well, let's address it. We're like midway. Who you got? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, Georgia looked like Georgia to me. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That looked just like what I expected them to look like. That's what I expected them to look like against Alabama. And it just seemed like they just swarmed Texas. And it was in Texas. That's the part that had me seemed a little odd, man. So it's not like it was neutral field. They just went in there and freaking stepped on their throat and dominated them. So I think that's definitely something that's got to get everybody else's attention, and Georgia's, they're Georgia. So we'll see. Oregon is still up there. We've got some good teams. So a lot of parity. I agree. And, but Georgia just kind of it's who Georgia is. And that's who they've been for quite a while. Kirby's something else, man. The guy is a legit coach. He should have probably got in trouble a week or so ago. We didn't address that. I don't believe. He literally pushed a guy on the sidelines from the other team.
Oh yeah,
trying to go towards a ref. I mean, he should have been fined, and I don't know how he got away with it. But the guy's a freaking genius, man. He makes the best halftime adjustments that I've seen in quite a while, and he didn't have to do anything this week, man. It just seemed like they just had full control of the game from the get-go.
Good game plan.
And then what's going on with Texas with the quarterback, right? Like what's a little odd, man. I mean, they did the switch, then they put him back in. And I don't know if you heard, but Quinn didn't go to his normal interview. It's like Monday or Tuesday of the week each week. They have the Texas quarterback show up and he's a part of an interview. He wasn't there this week. Nobody came. So it's just kind of, I don't know, kind of weird what's going to happen there.
It's funny because we were talking about Georgia looks great. They do, right? But we got to remember it's a 12-team playoff. You're going to go up against schools you don't ever face. And it might be Iowa State going up against, Georgia at some point. And Iowa State has always been in the back. Like, we just want a chance to play at a championship. We just want a chance. And, I think there's a lot of coaches that are getting opportunities to show how good they can be. Obviously, the last 10 years, you could probably name the top 4 teams in the nation every year easily because it just seems to be that's the only good schools there were. But with all the changes, man, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the playoff because I think there's going to be some shocking shit to happen to some big teams. And they're just going to be like, wow, well, that was an uppercut for a number 8 team to come knock us out real quick. And, let's look at them. You look at the top 12 now. You've got BYU, you got Iowa State. Penn State's been there before, but it's been a long time since they've been there. Miami, been a long time since they've been there. Clemson, they've been there just recently, but you just start looking at it and you're like, there's some teams that haven't had this opportunity and they're playing good freaking football right now. Like Iowa State, man, Indiana, another one, 13. They're squeaking up there.
Literally, you took the words out of my mouth. Like,
wow. Like when they get an opportunity, what are they going to do? And I guess right now they're shocking the college world. So
coming, so I got to ask you then, coming from a guy that bet on Nebraska last week, like, is Indiana Indiana for real?
From everything from everything I watched, Indiana looks ridiculously good. They look good. Yeah. They look very like nobody's looked at Indiana. They recruited really well. I went and looked. They've had a lot of guys stay and not go to the NFL and keep their man. They blew out Nebraska. It wasn't even close. There wasn't even a thought of an opportunity for Nebraska.
Have you guys seen? I mean, I dig their coach, man. They got a great quarterback, but have you seen did you see their coach in the interview when they talked about having expectations or something? And how he wins or whatever. And basically, he basically just said, "Google me." I've never lost. Like, Google
Wow.
me. He just basically told him, like, I don't know, he's so confident. They seem for real. I mean, I don't know. They laid the wood to Nebraska. So
That was shocking.
I love their coach though,
I was
man.
shocked.
What's his name? Is it? Oh yeah, it's
Kurt Signetti.
Signetti. That's right, Signetti.
Yep.
The dude just looks like he belongs in the NFL.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's 126 and 35. That's his coaching career. He played quarterback at one point. Wow, I didn't know anything. I didn't really ever pay attention to this guy. That's
he's an unknown guy, man.
Look in the 8 years he's been where he's at in Indiana. 52-9.
Wow.
Not
That's
8 years.
crazy.
He's 52-9 since he's been in Indiana. The guy just wins, man.
God. What about well, we're gonna find out. They play Ohio State in about a month, so that's gonna be a good one. Between them, Ohio State and Oregon, Illinois, Wisconsin. Yeah, they'll all have one loss in the conference, but a lot of conference play to still go. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see about Indiana. But I do want to know: is there going to be a job posting in Alabama, Brad, or where's your head at with your boy Kalen DeBoer?
No, I don't think it's a coaching thing, man. They don't have enough depth. It is what it is, man. I've been telling you, this has been going on even in the victories. The only game they played well the whole year is Georgia first half. It is what it is. That every other game, if you go break it down, they have not been good. They lost a ton of people. They need to revamp, reload. They're not what they were, man. They still could have won the game. That's the frustrating thing as an Alabama fan. You watch the games and it's like Jalen is playing like shit. He's making horrible decisions. When he should throw the ball away, right? He doesn't. He's just this. His draft stock, in my opinion, is rapidly dropping. He's not showing that he makes great decisions. When he runs, it's like a gazelle, right? It's beautiful to watch, but he's not leading very well. I mean, sitting there with the game, Logan's like, we got to put the backup in, and I don't want to think that, right? Because Jalen brings a different dimension, but there's definitely questions right now. Would we look different with the quarterback that was just running the system? Because he's not doing that right now, right? I mean, it's a little bit just all over. We're not getting the snap off, right? I mean, how many freaking pre-play penalties can you get, right? I think I sent Jared a text during the game, and it's like I think between the game it was like 25 or 30 penalties between the two teams. It was horrible to watch. If you guys watched it, I'm sorry. It's not fun to watch. I'm not watching a whole lot. It's like it's just not Alabama football. But I can't blame DeBoer fully. I mean, we got to get things cleaned up, right? But I think it's an overall just player personnel situation. We don't have enough depth.
Yeah.
I do.
He might need a transfer portal season. He might need a little time.
I do got a question for you guys about one other coach, which I really don't know if you guys watch a whole lot about him. He's a very well-known coach, Mike Gundy over there at Oklahoma State University. He's had some hiccup mistakes with that squad that was supposed to be in the top. They were supposed to make the playoffs. I mean, a lot of veterans came back, 7-year quarterback. I mean, that whole team like just imploded. But
they're 0-4 in the conference, dude.
That's what I'm saying. They were projected to win that conference, undefeated. Like, do you think that puts a lot of question marks on a head coach of with the team they had? Like, they were supposed to compete this year for the championship. That was, I mean,
yeah.
I
don't know a whole lot about that team, but when you got the expectations that you do, and you're 0-4 in conference play and 3-4 overall, you got to be thinking he's been there a while too.
Yeah.
So you got to be thinking maybe a change could be coming, but looking at this Big 12, like I don't think anybody would have guessed BYU and Iowa State being in the Big 12 championship
Right.
game. At least currently, right? There's still a lot of football to be played. The Colorado Buffaloes and Cincinnati.
5 weeks left. Yeah,
and
5 weeks left.
Kansas. Yeah, there's still plenty of options to go. A lot of people are, if a couple people drop off, it's going to get interesting. But yeah, I think at some point you got to look at making a change if there's, like Utah's having a down year, but their quarterback got hurt. So the why behind it and why the results are happening, I don't know. I don't know a ton about the team, but yeah, it's the expectations were there and it's just not happening.
Yeah, it's crazy to sit there and think like you got one of the best running backs in the nation and he don't look like the best running back in the nation. And,
Exactly.
and it's purely because I've watched quite a bit of OSU football, Oklahoma State University football this year and OU, just because obviously that's the state I'm in, but it's what's on TV out here. And it's just weird to think you have that kind of talent and you're just not getting that. It's kind of like the Bijan moment, Bijan Robinson in the NFL. You got that much talent, you're not going to feed this guy and let him work. Oh, that's why, because your blocking isn't fucking doing their job. So I really feel it's a coaching situation over there. And but yeah. So we got
an exciting week this week.
Yeah.
We got an exciting week this week. We got LSU and Texas A&M. That's a big game for the SEC. It's in Texas A&M, I'm pretty sure, right? And I believe LSU are actually the underdogs in this. So I'll be interested to see how that quarterback from LSU plays at Texas A&M. That's going to be a tough environment.
Yeah, well, there's
we got
also
Illinois and Oregon too. So
Illinois and Oregon, that'll still be a good game. Alabama, Missouri.
Is Alabama at home, Brad?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tuscaloosa.
We'll see what happens there. Missouri damn near lost last week to Auburn, so I think both of their seasons are on the line. I think this is an Alamo game for both of those teams in Alabama and Missouri. So we'll see. I think Oregon might be on upset alert against Illinois, man. I think they might be looking ahead or looking behind, a little bit. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah,
is this a get right game for Florida State against Miami?
No.
Hey, I only bring it up because the history between these two teams is bonkers, right? And could you imagine Florida State going in there and if they beat Miami, what that's going to do?
I don't think they beat them, but I'm going to be honest with you. I was looking at the jelly beans today, looking at our wagers, and I did not like the number. I didn't like it. It was 21-point favorites. I didn't like that. I could see them playing a little bit of a tighter style game. So we'll see what happens. They kept it closer with Clemson a couple of weeks ago than I thought they would.
Yeah,
Florida State did, and I think Clemson's a team that's really coming on. So so we'll see. I bet you it's a lot closer than most people think. Would be my guess.
Yeah,
Miami's been flirting with that, like dropping the ball. They've been flirting with taking teams too light, and all of a sudden they're down whatever they were to Cal that weekend and different things like that, and let Louisville hang around. So I think they could, they could get snake bit here, but you don't think so, Brad? I'm assuming.
I hope you put some jelly beans on it.
I did not. It was a game I'm staying away from. I think it's going to be closer than what you think, but we'll transition over the jelly beans. And one thing I don't think we do a good job of every week is, if people are watching this, explaining what we're doing here, is we are taking imaginary 25, we're calling jelly beans, and placing wagers on parlays and stuff like that on the college football every single Saturday. And we are competing against ourselves. So every single week we get 25 jelly beans to wager. If we're in the green and we win some, we carry that over. We add 25 to whatever we're in the green. So I guess at that point we can show the results and let Brad gloat a little bit because he's back in the green.
Oh, whoops! Hold on, I clicked the wrong one. Let me get
that's the wrong one. That's
the wrong one. I apologize.
I'm definitely not in the green on that one.
Yeah,
no doubt.
We'll get there eventually.
At that point, I'm just throwing darts, baby.
You are in the green here. You're the first one in the full standings to be fully in the green.
Well, he was in the green a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, but it was like two quarter jelly beans or some crap.
No, it was like $7.
It wasn't. No, come on, man.
It's
Green
all
is
right.
green.
Yeah, he was
It's
up
all
a few.
right.
He
I'm
was up a
making
few
all
dollars.
my money back this week. It's okay.
I've heard that before.
what
Let's
you
see
say
let's
every
see
week.
what you got.
Yeah, we'll get
So
there.
So me and Tyler and I both went 0 for last week and lost all of our bets. And Brad hit on. I think you had one last week, or did you have two?
I had two. I hit on one.
Yeah. So he's up 31 jelly beans on the week. That puts him up 13.28 jelly beans for the year. I'm right there. I'm down 34 on the year. Brad and Tyler's down.
I'm almost down $100.
82.
God dang.
My
Get my
God,
butt
John,
kicked.
a lot of beans, dude.
It's all good. It's all good.
Getting
Well,
worked.
well,
You're
I'll
getting
take
back
it
this
first.
week, huh?
Yeah, I'll take it first since I'm at the bottom of the barrel. Okay, I'll take it first. It's a pretty hefty one. And I got
Yes.
USC covered the 14 here.
I love this shit when he bets.
Notre Dame on the money line. I mean, hey, if I win, it's 396, baby. You know, that's a lot
Hell
of jelly
yeah.
beans to be having.
Goddamn. Well, what's funny is if you win this, you're totally gonna go heavy next week with all your green, and you'll be right
It
back
won't
down.
matter.
I'm just gonna go all max bet one. It'll be an upset loss is what's gonna happen. Yeah, I got Indiana covering the 6.5.
Who's playing? Who's BYU playing? Who are they
The
underdogs?
University of Central Florida. That's why I'm very confused why it's a 2. It is in
Really?
Florida. Yes, it is in Florida. So it's kind of like a head scratch why that's there and why that's that way.
That's a weird number.
Very weird. So
I look at your bet and I like USC. I wish that was at 13.5. I like Notre Dame money line, but they're playing one of the military schools, Army or Navy.
yeah, they're playing Navy.
So
Navy.
I like the money line because I do think they win, but boy, I think it's gonna be a little bit closer because I think that number was like 13.
Yeah.
I like Indiana. The BYU one I liked. I think you got the better team with points, so that's good. And Oklahoma.
This is
starting Jackson Arnold.
Yeah, and this is where I'm kind of in that. That's why I took the Oklahoma plus the 20 because Ole Miss hasn't looked like Ole Miss, and I really think Oklahoma can at least keep it close. I think their defense is good enough. It's the offense that's got to stay on point. I mean, they did a quarterback change. Who fucking knows, man? I don't know. OU is so confusing to me. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense what's going on over there. So
yeah, I think Ole Miss hasn't been blowing people out. I like that number. The USC number scares me. Everything else,
yeah.
I can agree with.
USC, I was thoroughly debating on going the other direction, but I think I'm gonna just stick with the gut, and I think USC doesn't come out and lose back-to-back games, and I think he wants to show the world he got some firepower and they can throw the ball. So we'll see. Yeah. So Anthony, I'll let you take this one over.
I forget what I even have here. But,
yeah, man, don't even know your own jelly bets.
My lock of the week is Louisville teased down to 1, Ohio State teased down to 19.5, and Colorado down to a 1-point underdog. I like Colorado at home against Cincinnati. I'm gonna wager 20 there to get 56. And then, like I told you, I liked the USC pick. I worried about the number. I went ahead and locked in USC money line because I didn't care for the number. Penn State to win by a touchdown. Boise State tomorrow night, actually, which what you guys said last week, Tyler's bet or your bet would be over by Friday. I forget who had a Thursday or Friday game last week.
Sam Houston. Sam Houston.
Well, yeah. They lost too, didn't they?
Yeah.
He is I.
They did.
He is I. Yeah.
He immediately knew that 7-legger was dead.
Yeah. I got Tulane and Penn State covering. That's a little bit more of a juicy one. So my lock of the week here is this teaser. I really like what we got going on there. It's going to be a big 12 matchup there, Colorado against Cincinnati. But I like them to get the win. Didn't really care for the number overall, so I had to get that thing down a little bit.
Crazy, your lock in the week doesn't even get you in the green.
It absolutely would get me in the green.
No, because I think you're down 67.
Nope, I'm down in the 30s. I'm down in the 30s. I know you're so used to losing all your jelly
I'm
beans.
so far at the bottom.
I
yeah.
win rather consistently.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm thinking, 396 in my bankroll already, so I'm not really worried about you.
Oh yeah, not happening. Not happening.
And now
Let's
the
see what the
king,
champ has.
the King Kong champion here.
Oh
See
yeah,
what all
big money.
Big money, Brad.
You know what I need
wins
to do
it.
is change these colors because this shit makes me sick right now.
Yeah. There's a reason why
It makes me sick to see that shit.
I don't know if you knew that. I did that on purpose.
Well, I built it like that in the thing.
Oh, it
before,
suits you great.
All right, so let's see. My little $5 deal on the side. I've been just doing these little 7-leg parlays, all money line, plus 669. USC. I kind of feel the same about Ole Miss. I'm not really sure. That's the way money line, a little simple. Iowa, UTSA, West Virginia, Penn State, and then I'm going to put my balls on the line with Alabama at home against Missouri. Good God, I'm already nervous.
I do like that over on OU and Ole Miss. I might look to bet my own jelly beans outside of this on the over on the Colorado Cincinnati game. I think that's going to be a pretty high score, and I think it's only at like 53 or something too. It's a good one.
I think Colorado wins that game this week. I was looking at it. I think they win. I do.
30 minutes left.
What is the pay on that one? $5 for 38.46. That's right. And then my two leg parlay is a 6.5 point teaser. It's actually minus 110, but I brought the over, the over under all the way down to 42.5 on that OU Ole Miss. I would expect Ole Miss to put up at least, high 20s, 30s, right? So I'm thinking that'll get the over. And then with Iowa and Northwestern, Iowa's been putting up points, and the number's always so low on Iowa that I figure if I can get myself 6.5 points, that we should get the over. So
I just don't know enough about Northwestern to have an opinion on that. I don't know. I don't know much about that. I looked at that game.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I looked at that game because Northwestern, this is one of the only times you ever see Iowa favored by double digits, because most of the time it's pretty close. Because they keep it low. The defense is really good and they keep it low scoring. But when I seen that was 13.5 or 14.5 on that, I go, I don't know.
So Northwestern themselves are giving up a ton of points. So I'm actually thinking Iowa, with the way they've been playing, can actually probably put up the number themselves, to be honest. Northwestern's a very weak team this year. So we'll see.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and put the 33-28. That way, I'm putting it all out there. I'm going to do what Tyler does in case he hits the big one.
It's all in, baby.
We're all in, right? That's what we do. I kind of think that's a general rule. I don't know, but it feels like anytime any of us are in the green, we go all in. And I think that's the way we're wired. We are called tilted, right? So 33-28 will turn me into 63-53. So that's my all-in bet.
This will be like super green if you get this one.
I'll be super green. I won't be as green as you with.
No, you won't. You'll still be behind me. That's right.
After next week, I'll be good because you'll be all in again. And...
I'll be all in. I'll probably bet on Alabama and lose.
Oh God, don't do that. Don't do that.
I think if I hit a big one, if I get up, 200 jelly beans, I'll probably nickel and dime it a little bit. $25 bets or 25 bean bets, 50 bean bets. I don't think I'll be going all in.
No, we have a prerequisite here, man. This is how we do things. We don't hold back. You've never been at a poker.
You held back the first week you were in green.
At like $3.
$7.
All of it about $3 or something, right? You've never been at a poker table and not been all in several times. I know you. So let's just cut straight to the shit. We're all in.
You're talking more about Tyler than me right now.
Yeah.
Well, both of you, I'm sure.
Yeah. I got bad luck though. I go all in with kings and lose to ace every time.
And then you win like offsuit 2-4 or something.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
yeah, something dumb. Yeah, you're right. But all right, well, it'll be a good week for college. Just remember, guys, when you bet money, you're probably gonna lose. Okay, there's no foolproof here. We're not professionals. We're just a bunch of weird dudes that sit in our closets and pretend to be rich, and we're not. So other than that. I don't know, man. Oh no, I'm just thinking of my
That's a fucking weird
390,
one, dude.
thinking of my 396 and how thick I'm gonna be after eating all them jelly beans. But
Shit. Let's get into NFL, dude. You're fucking
yeah.
killing me, dude.
All right, so back to it, baby. Man, what a surprising week for some of these NFL teams. A lot going on. What about that Lions and Vikings game? Wow. There's two games like that. It was Lions, Vikings, and Texans and Packers. They were both phenomenal football games to watch. But man, like Lions, Jesus, Goff looked like the truth over there. They look good. They look like the team. Like if you're gonna try to make it to the Super Bowl, you gotta go through Detroit right now.
Yeah, I think so. The game was excellent. I think I'm a little shocked I was shocked when the Vikings jumped out to the lead. I was shocked that the Lions came rolling back the way they did. But I think really, like, when you look at it and you think about the teams that are battle tested, the Lions almost gave that game away with that scoop and score there at the end. And then here comes Jared Goff and the offense right down the field and just, very calloused, nothing, unfazed. I mean, that team could have unraveled after that scoop and score, but instead they stood firm, went right down the field to win the game. So yeah, I think the Lions are the team to beat in the NFL right now. If I had to place them.
Yeah, it's crazy because everybody sits here. I just watched my Niners get their behinds whooped by Kansas City, but like I look at Kansas City, man, and it's pure defense. Their offense is not very good right now, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done there. They just traded for Hopkins. I'm not sure how much that's gonna help. I'm guessing it's going to, but it's not like they're getting a 30-year-old wide receiver who's a super stud. Hopkins is good, but he's older and he's been on a pretty bad team for a while. So, I guess we'll kind of see, man. I don't know. We said that about Cooper, and then Cooper goes out there and does his thing, man. Not a lot of yards, but did his part. Got a touchdown first week.
What do you think about Hopkins in Kansas City?
Did you see Keon Coleman telling him what the route was?
Yeah.
No.
Cooper had no clue, Red. I love it. He looked out and they asked Keon Coleman. He's like, "No, man, he knew, man." It's like, no, he didn't. You could tell he's telling you. It's no big deal. First week, he told him what to do, man.
I think it's so funny too because we made such a big deal about Cooper going there, and he's going to be a great complimentary piece. But like Keon Coleman also had his best week.
Yep.
Crazy what happens when you have multiple receivers that are worth the shit on your team. But I think, dude, personally, and I hate this shit, but I think Hopkins to Kansas City is too good. I think he's not going to be the guy that burns you downfield. He's going to be the possession guy. He is a quicker and faster version of Travis Kelce, because he's going to move the sticks for them. Now you're going to put one on one side and one on the other. Like, I think that's dangerous. And I also heard they're not done making moves. So it would not surprise me if you see little Cooper Kupp over there in Kansas City also.
Oh man, could you imagine that? God, I got one thing to say to that. Fuck the Chiefs. That's all I got to say. Fuck the Chiefs.
I agree.
No, I do not want to see a 3-peat, even as a fucking football fan. Disgusting.
Nobody wants to see a 3-peat.
Disgusting. You know what else is disgusting? The fucking Jets.
Nah.
Golly. I don't even know what to say. Listen.
What the hell happened? They were 15-6.
They got rid of a good coach. That's what happened. They wanted to they wanted to lay the blame. You can watch that defense and tell they are not as good since they let Robert Saleh go. It is obvious. Go look at the numbers. It shows all across the board. The players have said it. There's been players that have tweeted about it. Robert Saleh had the respect of the entire fucking team, and that organization came in and goes, "Nope, we're sucking. We're gonna blame the coach. He's out." You could see, see the reaction of
games under 500,
and that's fine. When has that team been good?
It's not like he was, and I hate Josh McDaniels, but it's not like he was Josh McDaniels and he was only a year and 5 games in. Like, he's been there for 3 or 4 years.
They were supposed to be good last year. They were supposed to be good the year before. He hasn't been a good head coach. I think it was time to make the change. The Jets suck though, and I love watching that shit.
And I'm not a
I
Jets
find
fan. It's just weird to me. It's just weird to me. Like you bring in you've got a shitty quarterback before Aaron Rodgers. That just it's obvious. We watching us football. You can watch that kid. He just doesn't got it, man. He doesn't got it. He's not going to be good in this league. And then
You mean Zach Wilson?
Zach Wilson. You just can watch him and tell he's just not built for this league. You get a star wide receiver, and you just got to throw him the fucking ball, and you can't even get the guy the ball, right? Like, can't get the guy the ball at the right time. Now you got Aaron Rodgers come in from an injury. He's fucking – that first game is apparent he's not ready to be back fully. It's going to take him a couple games to get used to it. He's old. He's fucking old. He's slow. That line's not blocking well. The defense is great. The Jets defense is still great. But if your offense can't produce – it's prime example. It's happening in San Francisco. They've got a good defense. The offense is fucking terrible. In the red zone, they're terrible. They can't keep the ball. The turnover possessions, they're losing because they're throwing interceptions or fumbling. When the defense stays on the field too long, they get tired. And then they wear out by the fourth quarter. I don't know. I just didn't like the move. It didn't make sense to me. Even Tom Brady came out and said it didn't make sense. Why? And then you turn around and go trade for Devontae Adams?
But
like,
Tom
why?
Brady's the owner of the Raiders. He don't matter.
Raiders are winning the Super Bowl next year, baby.
Hey, so you took us there. Let's talk about the Niners.
Man,
where we at, man? I mean, is this the week that I mean, if they don't win,
there's two things here that are really glowing in my mind. If they don't go beat Dallas,
It'll be good.
If they don't beat Dallas, what do you do? Like, what's the game plan? Do you bring Christian back now, or just let him stay off for the year so he's healthy next year? Like you're sitting at 3-5.
Let me give you a counter. You go lose to Dallas, you're 3-5. Seattle gets boat raced by Buffalo. They're 4-4. You're one game back.
Yeah, obviously it's the NFL. It's 17 games, so we've gained an extra game to have a chance to make a wild card. It's a lot of the players are hurt. I don't know. It's just the Niners are just banged up, dude. Banged up everywhere. It's ridiculous. And I don't know. Brock Purdy, unfortunately, like we can sit there and talk about, he doesn't have all of his weapons. He's not playing well. You've got it. Sometimes you got to figure it out. I already had this conversation with Anthony today. And I, honest to God, I live by this. And I think this is the real problem with the Niners. Kyle Shanahan does not know how to change his game style when he's getting his ass beat. Andy Reid, yes, he's been in the league 10 years longer. Andy Reid is the best coach at changing a game. I said 10 years longer than Kyle Shanahan. As a head coach, I think he's 10 years longer. But besides that, whatever.
That motherfucker's been around forever.
He knows how to adapt. He's adaptive. He will adapt to a game plan that's failing. Fuck, it's not working. Second quarter, new game plan. This is what we're doing. Oh, that don't work. Halftime, we rewrite it all. Come out there. How many times has Patrick Mahomes said they've got so many different options to do different things that they don't? He never knows what's going to happen at halftime. He doesn't know, and he'll go in there and mention something that he saw. Patrick Mahomes will to Andy Reid. And he'll be like, "Fuck yeah, let's change it to that." Cool. Like, there's a difference when it's all formulating the right way. The Niners don't have that right now. They don't. It's one game plan.
You should have heard these dudes today.
Oh, me and Shrek were going head to head at it. I just think
really.
So he called. Oh, dude, they're both Niner fans, and I'm driving with Shrek on the way to. We're gonna go have lunch. He's in town today, and Tyler calls me, and they're both Niner fans, and he starts going off about Kyle Shanahan, and Shrek's like, "Who do you want to get to replace him? God, oh, what a doofus!" Like they're just going on and on. And I said, "Hey, you guys can hire John Gruden. Great option."
I'm not saying I want the guy to get fired. But why does he not have an offensive coordinator to be a second voice when that can see something that he does? I mean, Andy Reid as an offensive coordinator that gives him a second voice when he sees shit. Like sometimes I feel like the ego's too big, man. The head's too big on Kyle Shanahan. You haven't won a Super Bowl. You've choked in multiple Super Bowls. Like something's got to fucking change. Like what the fuck? It's ridiculous. So frustrating, man.
I've been looking forward to this segment. Well, I'm just going to sit back, man, and enjoy it, man. Keep going.
And then Anthony's great comment. Anthony goes, "Horton, shut the fuck up. At least you have a chance to win games." At least you got
I
something to root for.
I said you're one game back from your fucking division lead, like your vision, and you're still a pretty good team. Would you shut the fuck up, dude? You don't even know what it's like, man.
You
Man,
don't even know.
if Christian
All right,
McCaffrey,
where's Cooper Cup going?
oh, San Francisco, baby. No, I don't think the Rams will not trade him to San Francisco. I just
got
don't
a
see
place well, let's look at contenders, right? Let's just go through it. Buffalo already made a trade. I don't think they're going to get him.
Pittsburgh.
Baltimore? Could you imagine him? I don't know. They don't have a whole lot of depth. They got Bateman and Flowers.
I never thought about Baltimore. That'd be a good spot. That'd be a great spot for him.
I think that'd be a great spot.
I did have one ringing in my ear that looks pretty good, and they're number one in their division, and they've got a really young quarterback with a really explosive head coach and coordinator that would not mind having him in the Commanders.
Yeah, they just
it's another one that makes sense.
That what a great. I mean, why not? You know, Detroit doesn't need him.
Like
Falcons don't need it.
Oh man,
Detroit does need him.
Could Minnesota put him in there?
I would not. You got Addison and Jefferson.
Addison and him. Yeah, but Addison's, he's not Cup.
Yeah.
Green Bay. They already got a shit ton, but they don't have one like him.
Oh my, they got a ton of receivers.
But they don't got enough. They got Jaden Reed's their number one, but they don't really got.
They could potentially give up a couple receivers. I like the Ravens. I'd love to see him into the Ravens.
Oh, I would love to see him in Baltimore too.
That'd be fun.
I didn't even think about that until just now. That is exactly who I want him to go to.
That shit would be fun.
Offense is so.
I'd much rather him go to Baltimore than Kansas City.
Oh God.
I will. Well, I don't see Kansas City going. I mean, maybe. I mean,
dude, they said they were still shopping. Man,
could you imagine? Could you imagine Cooper Kupp in Baltimore with that whole team? Holy fuck! Mark Andrews is finally starting to come around. Derrick Henry running out of his damn mind.
Unbelievable.
Lamar Jackson, another MVP season. Like
Tampa Bay needs Tampa Bay needs a receiver pretty bad. They may pony up a ton, right? Like,
yeah, but
they're still in the hunt in their division.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Yeah, they lost both their boys.
It's Baltimore.
Baltimore's where I'd love to see him end up at. I don't know if it'll happen, but it'd be awesome.
And Cooper Kupp, man, that'd be awesome. So you said Lamar Jackson MVP year. That's who you're riding with? That's who your MVP is so far this year, Tyler?
I think the way that team's built and the way that run game's going to be, I think it's going to be impossible to stop Lamar from having an MVP year. That's
where that's what I said before the season.
You know what's crazy? They're not going to win a Super Bowl though. That's what's funny.
I don't know.
They're not going to win it. Hey, it's the Baltimore effect,
Detroit.
baby. Hey, they need to get rid of old fucking John or Jim. No, John. Excuse me, John Harbaugh for them to win one because they've got that what's his name? Joe Flacco effect. They won the Super Bowl and they let Flacco go, and now Flacco's got like some demon spirits over that team to not let him win.
Oh,
shit. You gotta think about it. Look how good they were last year. Then they go turn around and lose. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but it's not like they had an easy matchup. Kansas City's been legit for a while. And they weren't a new offense last year. I don't know, man. Baltimore looks different to me right now. Lamar looks different. I mean, it's still the 3-horse race, right? It's still the 3 AFC quarterbacks, in my opinion. It's him, Mahomes, and Allen. Mahomes isn't doing enough, but his name is going to have him up there, right?
He's still second in MVP betting odds.
Odd-wise right now, let's look.
I saved it yesterday. He was still second.
I'm looking at
it right now. It looks like it's updated. Lamar is leading, plus 250. Mahomes, plus 400. Josh Allen, plus 550. Jared Goff, plus 700. CJ.
There's your MVP.
CJ at plus 1100.
Jared Goff, huh?
Well, I think
Jared
whoever,
fucking Goff.
it's one of those two. I think if Goff keeps doing what he's doing, you know what though, their team is just so good all around. They run the ball so much. That's what.
How
That's
Brock
the part
Purdy's
there
in
that
the
I'm not
top.
sure.
How Brock Purdy's in the top 10 of these odds are so confusing to me.
Yeah. Who do you think,
I
Anthony?
think I'm Jared
He's
Goff,
Goff.
man.
He's
I'm
a
all about
golfer.
Jared Goff. I think
He's goffing
I'm a
around,
Goff
baby.
guy, man.
Goffing around.
I love that team. That was my Super Bowl pick to begin the season. I obviously missed on the Jared Goff, but that guy's a surgeon. That guy's an absolute surgeon behind the line of scrimmage right now, and I love their running backs. I love their weapons. I could see them making a play for Cup because they just lost Jamison Williams for a couple of games, but also it's like Jamison Williams in Cup are not the same style player. Like you could definitely have Jameson on the outside and Cooper across the middle. And it seems like whoever their GM is an absolute surgeon when it comes to the salary cap because they're paying all their guys and they still have a ton of space. So they could take on a Cooper Cup salary with their cap space and everybody they're paying out. So I think it's Jared Goff. That guy's playing some unbelievable, probably the most efficient football I've ever seen from quarterback and putting up big numbers.
I will say that there was I highly doubt the Rams trade Cooper to the Niners. I just really highly doubt that. You don't really ever want to trade him to an interdivision team. That just doesn't really happen very often. But the Niners did come out, and it was said that they are shopping for a wide receiver. Wait, I don't know.
Who else?
I don't know. I don't know.
I really thought when I went to I was thinking about it last night. I really thought Hopkins would have been perfect for you guys because I kind of considered Cup not an option. So I thought Hopkins was going to be your guy, but I don't know who else could potentially be on the move.
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see. They need a receiver though, bad.
Yeah. So we float down to the next deal here, huh? Contender, pretender.
Yeah. So I put together a little tier system here that you guys aren't going to agree with. I got 7 teams in my tier that I think are contenders, that are legitimate contenders, in my opinion. And it's Buffalo, it's Baltimore, it's Houston, it's Kansas City, it's the Lions, it's the Vikings, it's the Packers. I don't know if you guys disagree. There's probably some teams you'd want to add to it, and that's what I want to ask you guys. I also have a list of 11 teams that I believe are completely out of it. We go through that list real quick. The Dolphins, the Jets, the Patriots, the Browns, the Jaguars, the Raiders, the Giants, the Saints, the Panthers, and the Rams. So that leaves 14 other teams that I would like to ask you guys about. Do you disagree with anything I've said so far?
No, not on my end.
So
Miami, Brad.
Well, I don't. I mean, obviously, I don't think they're going to make that big of a run, but Tua is going to make a big difference. So we'll see this week. I just don't know if he could stay healthy. The thing with the AFC, if you break down the AFC, the Dolphins still have a shot. The AFC is very ugly. As weird as that sounds, Anthony, your team, if they got on a run, we played one less game.
Don't say that to me.
I'm kind of fucking with you.
I'll start believing again.
I
don't. Podcast.
I agree with the 7 you mentioned. Those are pretty obvious from the AFC side. NFC side, I mean, the 3 guys in the North, like you said, are pretty standout. The South, no. The East, I feel like the Commanders will fall off. We're not really sure what's up with Jaden. The Niners are still just very odd to me, so I don't know about them.
Let's go through them. Let's go through the teams that are, I mean, you definitely make a good case. And you know what? I looked at the Jets schedule, and if they can figure their shit out, the Jets and Miami both have a shot to get into that conversation. But for right now, as it stands, they're in the out. So let's go through it. I got 14 teams, and I'll say the team name, and we'll go through and just give a contender or pretender. Arizona Cardinals.
Are we talking playoffs?
Contender.
Are we saying contender for the playoff or contender for the Super Bowl? What are we talking about?
Are they going to be a threat in the playoffs? Not can they sneak in the playoffs. Is it a team that can get in and make noise in the playoffs? An actual contender.
Pretender. I gotta say pretender. It's the Kyler Murray show. If he's on it, they win. If he's off at all, they lose. They got nobody else.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Man, I like that squad, man. They got a lot of shit going on over there. I just don't know what's happening, man.
And they played well against the Giants, but they barely squeaked by the Browns the week before. They feel like their offense is not really opening up, but I don't know, dude. I have to say someone's got to win that. Someone's got to have a home game. I got to put them in the contender conversation, but it doesn't feel good.
My problem is in the NFC, I think they're like the fourth lowest in points scored. So that's a big problem. And they've played some pretty bad teams. So right now, I mean, I got them as pretenders.
Where you got, Brad?
I think they have enough talent by the time they get to I think they're going to win their division. I do. I think they're going to come back. Washington, I'm concerned about Jaden. I think if Jaden stays healthy, that could be different. But oh man, we're talking making a run in the playoffs. I feel like if they win the division, they have the chance to win a game, which I guess makes them a contender. God, I feel weird saying that.
And are they formidable? You know, like I think so. I think they've got
the pieces.
My problem is if they squeak in, they're going to be probably a wild card, and if not,
if they win the division, they're not.
Win the division, they're not.
That's the thing.
You're just very high on Washington.
I think them or Washington, man. I don't know. They just look different.
So are you guys counting out the next team on the list, the Dallas Cowboys?
They're a joke.
I am a full. They got no run game, bro. You got to have a run game in this league. Pretender
all day.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Pretender.
Oof. They're another team. They've got pieces, man. But damn, I don't know what. They've got pieces. They're kind of like Philly. They're just not. They're not finding themselves. If Joe Burrow gets going, they're dangerous.
I think they're going to be okay. I think they're going to be okay, and I think they can get in and I think they can get in as a wild card, and they can pull an upset.
If they make the playoffs, they are definitely a contender team.
I think the problem is I think the problem with them, before we move on, if they make it, why I don't think I have them a contender is the teams they would face up with the first round. Right? They're going to one of those division champs at home that didn't, I mean, we're looking at probably going to Houston, Baltimore, or Buffalo, right? I just don't see them going to Buffalo, Baltimore, or Houston and winning that game. They've got the weapons, so just hasn't looked right so far, though.
What about Indianapolis?
Pretender. Richardson needs a lot more help. He needs to learn a lot.
He's a year or so off.
Yeah.
What about Chicago?
I don't see them making it.
Yeah,
I don't think they can get in. Well, how are they going to get in it?
It would be really wild to see every team in the NFC North make the playoffs.
They can do it. It can be all three of the wild card spots.
I feel like they're going to beat each other up, though.
Yeah, I do like Chicago. I think their defense is great. I think their offense is a year out.
1 year away.
Yeah, next year I think they're. Woo, Jesus! Caleb Williams is already starting to look good, but give him a year.
I wouldn't want to see him in the playoff. It's just a defense. They started to establish a run game. I think they can make the playoff, and I see him as a contender. I think they can make the playoff, and I think they can go on a run. DeAndre Swift started running a little bit. Not saying go make the NFC Championship. I think they can win a game. I think it's going to be on the road. That defense is really good. What about your 49ers, Horton?
Yeah, I'm a homer, dude, but I really do think that if the pieces can come back after this bye week, I really do think if they make the playoffs, they're a contender. I really do. I mean, they've showed moments of great, and then they've showed moments of what the fuck is this? So,
I agree with you. Bradley?
They're one game out. They're going to win the division.
Tampa Bay.
My boy Brad!
Tampa Bay.
I think before they lost the 2 receivers, they had a chance to go cause some havoc. That's going to be a heavy impact. I
That
think now
division-
they're pretenders.
they're in
That-
trouble now. I got them as a pretender now that they lost Evans and Godwin.
I still think
Yeah,
they're
that
going to end up
defense isn't very
winning.
good either.
I still think they're going to end up winning that division, to be honest. But I think they're going to get annihilated in the first round they play in playoffs. Like the Falcons are
How
all
about-
right, but man, yeah. And
That leads me to the next one: Atlanta Falcons.
I think they're pretenders. Unless they start
like 'em.
unless they start feeding Bijan Robinson the ball, they are pretenders. Me and you have talked about this time and time again. Feed that man the ball. My God, let him run, please.
I think they're going to be okay. I think they're going to
carrying.
I think they're going to get in. I think they're going to get into the playoffs, and I think they can win a game. I like them as a contender.
I think Bijan needs to come to San Francisco. You know, we'll just if Christian McCaffrey's done. Because Kyle Shanahan would
Go
run his
ahead,
ass.
Bradley.
I'm in the middle on this one. They have the weapons. It's just weird when you watch them play. I want to lean contender, but I'm actually going to say pretender. They're going to match up with one of these NFC North teams in the first round. If they win the division, right? And I think any of those teams can go in there and win.
Yeah. What about the Seattle Seahawks?
Pretenders.
Pretender. Defense.
I'm going to go
garbage.
pretender.
Geno sucks.
I like the
Your
running
guys'
backs.
favorite.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I like the running backs.
He has a hard time. But he has
Yeah.
a hard time staying healthy. But I do like Charbonnet. Your guys' favorite Washington Commanders.
I'm high on them, man. I think that.
We all know.
Sorry, I do. I think they're contenders. I think they can go into a playoff game, and Jane Daniels looks special right now. So
I think you
I'll
have to
them as
call him a
contenders right
contender. Yeah, I think you got to call him a contender just in one game, right? I mean, Jaden can get that game won.
that
So
Baltimore game was pretty close for a while, and then it got away from them.
Yeah.
But still, it was they competed in that game.
Yeah. What about? I agree. You have to call them contenders. I like what Jaden's doing. I like Cliff. I'll go to the last easy one, and then I'm going to leave you with 2 hard ones. The Steelers.
Oh man, Russell Wilson looked different, brother. He looked like old Russell Wilson there for a little bit, but
I think you have to call them contenders with that defense and run game.
that
But
defense is
it all
good.
depends on if Russ continues to go.
God, that defense is good, man. It's ridiculous.
What do you got, Brad?
contender.
All right, now the most difficult ones on the list because you just don't know what you're going to get from week to week. The LA Chargers.
I think they're pretenders.
I think they're pretenders too. I think they need a freaking weapon too.
They're a
need
year
receiver,
out. They're a year out. Like Jim
Yeah,
just
I
got
agree.
in. Like he's trying to get this new offense style going. Like I don't think they really got the run game fully there yet. They want like it's looked good at times, but not because Jim Harbaugh's a runner. He's a smash mouth, run the ball football kind of guy. They just and the quarterback hasn't been healthy. I had to stick with pretenders.
I got pretender.
And the Denver Broncos.
Pretender.
Pretender.
Pretender. I like Bo Nix. They need time. Again, they need more
Fuck him.
time. Why? He could have been
Fuck
he could have been a
Broncos.
Raider. Fuck, you could have had all these
Yeah,
quarterbacks.
No, everybody got picked in
You
front.
could have fucking
Anyways,
traded. Could have traded. Like
yeah.
Minshew was
Let's
the
get
guy.
let's get into our picks. Shut up.
I love it. I love it. Oh man, I was
Nipping at your heels.
smash mouthing you guys, and Anthony had a flip week. What a great week by Anthony. What a great week. Brad still sucks.
Hey, you the same record, man. If you notice, I put Brad ahead of you in the standings just to fucking.
Yeah, I saw.
He's 6 games back.
Yeah,
7
Brad-
games back from you.
I could fucking be in this thing real soon with the way you guys pick week to week too. So we're good.
Brad's out here winning jelly bean bets, and I'm winning NFLs. So it's all right. It's all right. Okay,
right,
we'll jump
well,
into it. We'll jump into it. This first week, it's gonna be some hot sauce, and by the way, did not put my picks in yet at all. So I don't think
I didn't
any of
either.
us
We'll just
did.
put
So
them in as we go. This is going to be there's some big spreads this week. There's going to be some ballsy picks. I think we see some separation in the standings this week. Starting tomorrow, you got the Vikings going to LA, -3. Minnesota's 3-point favorites against the Rams. I'll kick us off. I will take the Vikings to cover 3.
I'll
Don't
go
be
the
shy.
Vikings as well. I'm gonna go the Vikings.
Orton, look at him. Look at him. Just can't help
Man.
himself.
I know Cooper Cup's back, and I feel like this is like a 150 yards with two TD kind of day for him. And the
Trying
Rams
to
do
show
some
him off
weird
to get
shit.
that trade value up.
Yeah, Minnesota Vikings cover the 3.
Ooh, okay. I thought you were gonna go rogue on
Nah,
us here.
no, I'm
All
not
right,
going
you
rogue.
got. I thought you were going crazy on me here. The Ravens are going to Cleveland. It was announced today. Jameis Winston's getting the start. Ravens are 9-point favorites. Brad,
Ravens.
or
That's a high number. I hate saying it with that high of a number.
Ravens by 13. Fuck Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Ravens.
I'm taking Cleveland +9.
Wow. Wow. Already getting the
baby.
L all right off the rip. 1-1.
He's loving
Like it.
Jameis. Jameis could be a difference maker, but
He
Yeah.
is going to
Nah.
be.
Yeah. Who's his wide
Mason
receivers?
Rudolph. Oh, whatever. Mason Rudolph and the Titans are going into Detroit. Detroit's are 11-point favorites.
That's a fucking ridiculous number, brother. God.
Tyler,
damn.
you're up, dude. You're
Yeah.
up first on this one, dog.
Listen, the Titans have played different when Mason Rudolph is their quarterback. That's what's funny. But I don't know. I like, I might not be good at golf, but I know golf is great. So we're going to take Detroit Lions.
I'm also on the Lions -11. I think they can cover this one.
same.
The
Y'all
New
doing-
York Jets.
Oh.
You said say, yeah, God.
I was going to
In
say,
New-
you didn't like my
on
reference?
the road in New England.
You didn't like my
No, I
reference?
didn't.
My golf reference?
Stupid. The Jets are on the road in New England, 7-point favorites. I'm up first on this one, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jets to win and to cover.
I got the Patriots.
Brad. Ooh.
Drake May at home, man. He looks pretty decent.
Man, their coach came out and said they're fucking soft.
Yep.
They're soft. I think that the Patriots come out with blitz heavy packages to fucking tear another Achilles on old Rodgers. I think Patriots cover.
God damn. Falcons at Bucks. Falcons are only 2.5-point favorites right
Oof,
now.
what a weird one.
That's a weird one. Buccaneers are decimated at receiver, but they are on the road. So Atlanta -2.5. Bradley, what you got?
This one's tough, man. 2.5. What can Baker do without him? I'm going to put Buccaneers.
Wow.
Orton.
Atlanta, baby. Old Kirk
I'm on
Cousins.
Atlanta too. Win and cover. Eagles going into Cincinnati. Cincinnati 2.5-point favorites. Tyler, you're up first on this one.
I like they're at home. I got Cincy.
Yep, I'm there with you. Cincinnati's defense has been coming along lately. Been playing better the last few weeks. The Eagles' offense just hasn't shown me. I like the Bengals to win and to cover.
I'm going to go with the same.
Same.
Yeah.
All right, we got Colts at Texans. Is that down to 5 now?
Yeah.
Wow, what the hell's going on there? I'm first on this one. Shit. I'm going to take the Colts +5.
That means I'm second. I watched the Colts play
Yeah.
the Dolphins last week. No, thank you. Texans. No, thank you. They are not good.
Yeah, I got to go with Texans as well.
Speaking of your Dolphins, Arizona coming into Miami with Tua's back, 3.5-point favorites. Go ahead, Dolphin
It says,
guy. Kick us
oh,
off.
so you have it at 3.5?
That's what it has, yeah. As of today.
I'm seeing it at 3 on my other one.
This was updated today, by the way. This is the new
well,
look today.
and I know I'm looking at one I pulled up whenever we started the show, and I'm getting 3 on certain ones, so I'm unsure on 3.5, fellas. Now, Tua's back. Tyreek's gonna go off. Dolphins.
Fuck yeah. Tyreek told his fantasy owners to start him this week.
It's about to happen.
This is the Tua show, man. Every player around him is going to elevate, and it says it everywhere. Like Achan's going to go off. I really think Tua's going to go off with. I like Miami here.
Me too. I'm on Miami -3.5 also.
Yeah, it's going to be a good. It's a good game.
Now
for
I'm nervous.
A lot of fantasy fans should be excited, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, the Packers going into Jacksonville, 4.5-point favorites. Jacksonville can't stop anybody. But I mean, Duval is not the easiest place to play. Tyler, who you got?
Go Pack, go baby. Jordan Love.
I'm also on the Packers -4.5
on that Love train.
That's the same for me.
The Bills.
Wow.
On the road in Seattle, -3.
I guess it's a 3 because they're in Seattle.
Yeah,
I'm all in on the Bills, dude.
Golly, yeah.
That Seahawks defense can't stop anybody. I might even put a bet on this and tease this damn thing up to 6.5. I'm all in on the Bills -3.
Yeah, same. And you got another week of Cup. I mean, you got another week of Cooper there, like learning the offense. Yeah, good luck.
Well, and Metcalf's a little beat up, man.
Doesn't Shakir come back this week too?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Metcalf. They said he's week to week. So yeah.
That's concerning. I got to go Bills with Metcalf being
starting to
because they'd have to score at least 30, right? So
yeah. So you got the Saints are in LA. Chargers are 7.5-point favorites. The Saints just looked so bad last Thursday night against the Broncos, man. I hate
They're missing Derek Carr, bro. They're missing Derek Carr.
Bad. I mean, Derek wasn't playing that good when he left either, when he went out, but I hate this number. The Chargers don't dominate anybody. They play close games. Kamara just got a new contract. I'm gonna take the Saints +7.5. I just don't think that's the style of game that I don't think Harbaugh and the Chargers play a dominating style of game football yet. So I see the game being close.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. If you look at the total points, it's pretty low, 40. Like so.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat. I don't think there's a blowout team here, like either or side. So I do take Saints here.
What did the Saints lose by last time?
Like 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot. At home.
No, I'm going Chargers. This is good. I can make up a game on you fuckers.
So here comes Bryce Young. Here comes Bryce Young back in the starting lineup. I don't know if you guys saw that today. Bryce Young is now the starter in
Andy
Carolina.
Dalton got in a wreck.
Yeah, and he's still going to play. He's in the back. He's a backup. You got the Broncos at home, 9-point favorites. I don't even know who's first at this point. I'll
take Broncos. I don't give a fuck. I got Broncos. Bryce Young fucking sucks, and that team fucking sucks. Sorry. They're just awful. Bryce Young's got to go somewhere else to maybe be good again. Like, I don't know. Broncos defense, I think, is a lot better than we think.
Go ahead, Brad.
Every time the Packers they're getting their asses whooped. Bryce is going to play better this week. I'm going Broncos though. The number is high.
Panthers +9.
Yeah, I don't think I can do it, man. I mean, look at it. They lost 40-7, 40-7, 38-20, 36-10. 34-24, 30. That number's been covered every game.
Not this week, baby. The Chicago Bears going into Washington. I can't tell if that's plus or minus on Washington.
It's plus 2.5.
So Bears are 2.5-point favorites on the road. I think it has a lot to do with Jaden Daniels' injury, the unknown with the ribs. I'm going to take the Bears coming off the bye, the healthier team, to cover 2.5 on the road.
It's one of those ones, man. I want to see if Jaden plays.
I agree.
Getting points at home. If Jaden plays, I'm a Commander. If Jaden doesn't play, I'm Bears. I don't know what to do. We don't know for sure, right? Like, they haven't said it.
Yeah, he didn't practice today.
I'm literally, if he doesn't play, I'm Bears. I'm gonna say he's not gonna play. I'm gonna pick Bears for now.
Y'all gonna love
Yep.
me.
What?
I'm gonna take Washington and Marcus Mariota to come in there and lead that team like he did last week.
Mariota can totally do it.
He
All right,
did well
the-
with Jaden Daniels out last week. So.
I can't wait for this one.
Oof. Oh yeah, yeah.
We got the Queefs coming into Vegas. Chiefs are 10-point favorites. No science to this one. Go ahead, guys.
Well,
I'm taking the
I'll go
Raiders.
first. Me too. Plus 10, baby, all day.
Yep. The Chiefs
good.
haven't blown anybody out yet, man. Like the Niners, they had a trash can touchdown. It wasn't a blowout. They haven't.
who's playing
blown.
quarterback for the Raiders, Anthony?
Oh, it's
Mustache
Minshew,
Man.
baby. Mustache Man. They're in Las Vegas. It's a divisional
He
game.
has no receivers.
You don't need
Jacoby
receivers,
Myers
baby.
is back.
I don't
Jacoby
give a
Myers.
fuck.
back.
He got
The
Bowers.
The Chiefs.
Oh, the Chiefs. Yeah.
The Chiefs are winning.
All right.
10's a big number,
got-
dog. That's big.
I don't give a shit. It's the Raiders.
We got okay.
If the Chiefs,
We
if
got
the Chiefs are playing the Raiders, the Dolphins this week, I'd be like, I don't give a shit. It's the Chiefs.
Uh,
The Cowboys in Santa Clara,
Oh,
4.5 underdogs. So Niners are favored by 4.5.
49ers.
Horton?
49ers.
49ers will win 24-20 on a last-minute touchdown pass by your boy Brock Purdy, but Cowboys will cover the 4.5.
Oh, this is
Oof.
great, Horton. We got him on this one.
Yeah.
Got
that
it,
ass.
We got that
Cowboys
ass.
coming off a bye. I like it. Giants on the road in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh minus 6.5. I don't see anybody going different here. I like the Steelers minus 6.5, and I like the over on that game too. Actually, I like that bet now. We might want to get
This
that
is
shit in
a,
before it goes up.
This is a Malik Neighbors get right week, but I don't think they can beat the Steelers, man. I think
You think
Malik
he's going to
Neighbors-
get right against his defense?
I think he will be the full focus of this offense the entire time, and he will have a lot of receptions. That's it.
Huh?
It's going to be a
So
lot
are
of
you on the
screen
Steelers?
pass-
Or on the Giants?
I'm on the Steelers, but for fantasy reasons, I need Malik Neighbors every day.
I hear you. Bradley, you
Giants
gonna
are
go rogue
get
on
that.
this?
No, Steelers. I ain't going rogue. Not on this one. You guys went rogue with the Raiders.
Now
It's gonna be a weird week,
10
man. Lots of big
10
spreads.
points 10 points is just a big number in the NFL, man.
I know.
Big number. And
Well,
and
so is
that-
Lots of big
9.
numbers.
Yeah,
So is 9. So was 11.5, and we all went with it. Shit.
yeah, but if you
Well,
look at that,
I went with Carolina.
yeah,
Good for you.
good for you.
Got balls.
But you picked the Lions.
Balls.
You picked the
well,
I did.
Lions.
I can't go all underdogs. Who
I
the hell
will
am
say,
You know what
I
mean?
will say, it's going to be a great week. Right, I'm excited.
Yes.
Go
Go Dodgers.
go
Go
Dodgers
Blue.
on Friday. It's gonna be a great World Series and a lot of action. Next week is gonna be so much fun to come and talk about. And
Oh man.
other than that, y'all have a great night. Once again, I'm Tyler, Anthony, Brad. Thanks for
See you
hanging out.
guys.
Like, share,
Thank you.
comment, all the cool shit. And we're out.
Thank you for
Later.
watching. We appreciate
Screwed
each and
up
every
this
one of
time,
you, and
Lord.
we hope you join us again. If you could, please give us a like, subscribe, or follow at any of these social medias right here. And if you have any questions or concerns or something you want to discuss, please send us an email at tiltedpodcast24@gmail.com. Thanks, and have a great day.